Let's start with our editor. Basically, you can create your website or any kind of project in Let's start with editor. Technically, we could be using Notepad, which is built in operating systems, but there are better tools for that. Now, I'm going to propose you to start using Visual Studio Code because I think this is the most common one these days. So navigate to code.visualstudio.com/download. By the way, all the links going to be down below in the description, and then choose your operating system. The installation is pretty straightforward, regardless of the operating system. So I'm going to continue with the Windows. So simply hit download, and this will start download. If not, we can click this link over here. Once download is done, we can click on the installer, click run, and then the wizard will guide us through the installation process. So I'm gonna accept the agreement, and then I'm gonna go through the installation. I would like to use all these options here because it's gonna add me some extra options. So for example, if you have your project stored somewhere, you can simply just right click on the folder and choose open this with Visual Studio Code, this option over here. So I strongly encourage you to also keep it checked because it just makes your life easier. Then just simply click on the next and install, and that's gonna reinstall you the Visual Studio Code. Now, when it's done, we can simply launch it. And this is how it should look like. Now, the second thing we're gonna use in this tutorial is Node.js. So again, navigate to nodejs.org and then hit the download button. There are two versions here. So you can see version number 18, and by the time you're watching this video, it might be already 19 or 20, it doesn't really matter. What actually matters here is that these are two separate versions. So as you can see, the one is newer and the one on the left is a little bit older. This LTS here stands for long-term support. What does it mean? That basically means that this version is already stable and it's gonna be there and it's gonna be supported for a couple of months, whereas this one is the current versions, which as you can see has the latest features. However, because it's the newest one, it might be buggy sometime. For case of our project, that doesn't really matter. I mean, usually this is stable enough. So I suggest to you to go always with the most current version because it's gonna have the most and the newest features. So let's hit this 19 version. It's gonna start downloader and simply start installing it. Let's accept terms, and then again, I'm checking all the options there because it's gonna just make our life easier in the future. After installation, you might see a window like this. So I'm gonna just accept it and let it install all required dependencies. And now our installation is done. Now, in order to verify whether our installation was successful, let's open terminal. I'm using Windows, so I'm going to search for command prompt. If you're using other operating system like macOS, you can search for an app called terminal, which should be there. So I'm going to open this now, and let's type node-v. That will show us the current version installed, which match the one which we just downloaded. Now let's check something else. Let's type npm-v. This is also should come with the Node installation. This is Node Package Manager, and we're going to cover that in the next lesson.